Hi, and welcome to a Papetti Math YouTube video tutorial where I'm going to be teaching you, yes, you, Algebra 1. Now, in this lesson, we are continuing on with geometric sequences. If you watched the previous video on exercise number 1, you might have a nice foundation on what a geometric sequence is. And now we're going to continue and we're going to combine the ideas of arithmetic sequences and geometric in order to see what the difference is between the two. And it says right here, the main difference between arithmetic sequences and geometric sequences is the pattern in which they increase or decrease. Arithmetic sequences change by a common difference, while geometric sequences change by a common ratio. So in other words, for an arithmetic sequence, you're adding the same amount over and over and over. And for geometric sequences, you're multiplying by the same amount over and over and over. Does that sound familiar? Maybe from a previous chapter you've learned in algebra? It should, because when you're adding the same amount over and over and over, that makes you think of a linear function. And what you should think of when you're multiplying by the same amount over and over is an exponential function. So really, an arithmetic sequence is like a linear function, and a geometric sequence is like an exponential function. So we're going to just state whether each of these sequences represent an arithmetic sequence or linear, right? A geometric sequence or exponential, or possibly we might see one that's neither, and explain why. So the first one we get is 5 to 10 to 20 to 40. So take a look at that one and see if you can determine if you're adding, multiplying, or doing neither to get to the next term. Now that you figured that out, if you didn't, you can pause the video before I give away the answer. You should have determined that 5 times 2 is 10. 10 times 2 would give you 20, and 20 times 2 would give you 40. So this is geometric because it has a common ratio of 2. Now taking a look at this one, again, determine whether you think it's adding the same amount over and over, multiplying the same amount over and over, or neither. Pause the video if you need to. Okay, so you probably just kept it going, or you unpaused the video because you know the answer now. And if you were thinking that you add 4 every time, you would be so close, but yet so far. Because yes, 1 plus 4 is 5, and 5 plus 4 is 9, but 9 plus 4 does not give you 12. 9 plus 4 gives you 13. So this one you're adding 4, adding 4, adding 3, so this one's neither. Because there is no common difference or ratio. And now we go to part C. Again, pause the video until you think you know the answer, and then we'll go over it. Okay, so on part C, we have 54, then 18, then 6. And now again, we're looking for what we're multiplying by in a geometric sequence. So you might have said that 54 divided by 3 is 18, and 18 divided by 3 is 6, which is completely true. But we don't want to be dividing to get to the next term. We want to be multiplying. So dividing by 3 is the same thing as multiplying by, good. You should have said that it's the same thing as multiplying by 1/3. That's the same thing as dividing by 3. So your common ratio here is 1/3. So this is a geometric sequence because it has a common ratio of 1/3. And yes, it is tempting to say because it is dividing by 3 over and over. But again, we want to focus on adding or multiplying, okay? not subtracting or dividing. And finally, for the last part, if you need an extra second to catch up on that one, pause the video. If not, let's go right into it. We have -4, then 1, then 6, then 11. And you should have seen that this is a common pattern, a common difference of adding 5 to get to each of your next terms in this sequence. So if you're adding the same amount over and over, this is an example of an arithmetic sequence because it has a common, now we go back to that other word, difference of 5. All right, so if this video was helpful on distinguishing between arithmetic, geometric, or possibly neither type of those sequences, then give it a thumbs up below to let me know that this video was helpful to you. If you're ready to go on to exercise number 3, you can click the link in the video now.